Now let's take a deeper look at the National Crime Database. And joining me live from Abuja is the Force Public Relations Officer, Jimoh Moshood. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, Nigerians.
All right, so we understand that the database has reached completion stage, but start by telling us how the system will work from the perspective of crime prevention and control.
Thank you so much. It's quite important to have this opportunity to explain to Nigerians that the Nigerian Police Force is at the last stage of completion of the crime incident and crime database in Abuja, in Lagos, and in the other 6 geopolitical zones across the country. This to ensure that when we collect data, they are immediately processed and stored, and equally processed and for usage to prevent crime. There's no doubt that a lot of crime prevention and control strategies have been adopted, but for those crimes that cannot be prevented, prompt detections is the key way to go. And this is where the issue of having this adequately on ground comes into being. I want people to equally know that we have widespread police divisions and police posts and stations across the country. In fact, we have close to 2,000 police divisions, and we have 223 area commands. There are initially 142, but the Inspector General of Police created additional 81, the current IGP Ibrahim Putu Idris MP MNI, to make police services spread across the nook and cranny of this country. But the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, AJAC, has bestowed more responsibility on the Nigerian Police Force. Section 29, 33, and 34 specifically stipulate what are the role of the Nigerian Police Force in the implementation of criminal justice. If you look at the criminal justice entirely, you know, the police is the executive because of the fact that everything starts from us. The police is the first point of call where people are robbed, where people are traumatized, where people probably on sexual offenses and kidnapping and all the likes. And it is important for us to be up to date in ensuring that we carry out our responsibility. So in the administration of criminal justice, this crime database will ensure that we have adequate data. The additional thing I want to add is that this section 29, 33, and 34 has equally empowered us where an offender has been accused of an offense and the offender has been arrested. We have the power now under the law to take the data of such an offender, from biometric data to whatsoever data we wanted, which is going to be taken and stored, so that if an offender comes out to commit another crime, we'll be able to apprehend the offender promptly. So we are doing this, and this regional center will be networked to all the police divisions and area commands, and equally the command. We have 37 commands, 36 states, including Abuja, making 37, and we equally have 12 zonal commands that will be making use of these centers. And we are very hopeful that if more budgetary allocation is given to us, the completion can be hastened up. The data of Abuja and Lagos is more than 95% completed, and we are very hopeful that the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria will commission it soon.
Okay, if I can just stop you to ask you, I mean, so that we can have a conversation, if you can hear me, if I can just stop to ask you how exactly you're going to do things differently. I hear what you're saying, and I'm asking that because if by now there is no, how have the police been keeping their records in terms of crime data gathering and tracking of information up to this point? Because one of the reasons you look at security reforms is what has been done wrong in the past and how can we get it better now? How have you been doing it in the past, and what are you going to do differently now is the question.
Thank you so much. We have very efficient and effective criminal, so what we call the Central Criminal Registry. But is in Lagos and equally have some location in some state of the federation. But this new initiative is to be able to enable the process to be faster. We equally have state-of-the-art equipment equally installed at the Central Criminal Registry in Lagos, which is under the Force CID. But it's going to make it faster and it will make it more efficient. There's no doubt that we have this on ground across the world. When people are going outside this country, they come into the police, or people who are gaining employment or even admission abroad. to get criminal data of those who are coming across so that we can verify them, what we call character certificate. We have a central record where we do so in Lagos, and we have been using this to fight crime and to ensure that all crime prevention and control strategy of the force is effective. We have this on ground, but this the government is doing for us is part of the initiative of government to make police service more efficient and more effective.
Okay, thank you so very much, Force Public Relations Officer Jimoh Moshood, for clarifying that and sharing that here on the news at 10 tonight.